Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to a sober and rational and wonderful voice, Ken Starr, who knows a thing or two about Bill Clinton's extension, which is now the Democratic Party. If you listen to Ken Starr, the wonderful special counsel of yesteryear, you will realize that James Comey has been sullied beyond all repair. His once pristine image has been overtaken by somebody who was a leaker and a person who violated and broke and twisted and mangled every single regulation and every single possible bureaucratic norm and protocol, while at the same time lying to investigators about where he kept classified material which was in his safe. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these things will serve, even though he's not indicted yet, will serve to tarnish the once pristine and pure reputation of James Comey. So we should all be very happy. Ken Starr was on Fox News, and he let everybody know this. Now look, Comey still faces indictments, if not imminent, eventually. He was the ringleader behind all of this, in addition to Brennan. Andrew McCabe's about to get indicted. If you listen to Ken Starr, the guy's hilarious. He's like, his reputation was sullied beyond all repair. And then Ken Starr is even like, people who worked with, like Peter Strzok. Peter Strzok stated that he was very, very disappointed in James Comey's behavior. So Ken Starr is hilarious. You gotta love these establishment Republicans when they're like, the slap on the wrist is okay. Look, in my last segment I explained, Rome wasn't built in a day. Relax. You get a whole bunch of people who were like, Elemental P, he went to pee in the snow and it was a Q. Oh my God, thank you, Lord. You get those people who are like, it's gonna happen. And then you get people like, it'll never happen, H.E. Goodman. Relax. Just chill. All you have to do is just relax. And Andrew McCabe is going to get indictment. The indictments are imminent. They're using that line. That's my line. They're using it. Everybody from the editor at Lawfare is a friend of James Comey, to James Comey himself, to Matthew Whitaker, to John Yoo. Everyone is saying indictments are imminent. Andrew McCabe is going to get indicted. And James Comey was like, yeah, you know what? You want me? I like the guy. He's a great guy. If you want me, call me. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew McCabe is going to get indicted. Hillary Clinton's going to run eventually. She's not going to run in September. She's going to run in October or November or December or January. Okay? Again, let's focus. She's not going to run. She's not going to announce. Very likely won't announce. She could. But she very likely won't announce before the third debate. She could. But she very likely won't. I've been saying she's going to run since 2017. If you go type in Hillary Clinton 2020 right now. Do it right now. Go type in Clinton 2020. You'll get my Times of Israel article by H.A. Goodman, why Hillary Clinton will run and lose again in 2020. Okay, so all of this was to uphold a political paradigm that said that Clinton was the rightful winner. She should have won. Let's make it impossible for Trump to lead the country in a normal manner. Despite all of this, there's record low 3.7% unemployment from last October until today. Okay? Things are doing pretty well in terms of the economy. In fact, very well. And that's with Trump actually addressing the $400+ billion trade deficit with China. That's with President Trump wanting to bring home Americans from theaters of conflict, which is why every Bernie Sanders supporter should vote for him. One of the big reasons, in addition to prison reform legislation, in addition to a great economy, record low Black and Latino unemployment, prison reform legislation, criminal justice reform, this First Step Act. I don't care what Bernie Sanders supporters do. I'm just saying, as a former Bernie supporter, the Huffington Post called me the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters. That's the Washington Post. The Huffington Post called me the biggest Bernie booster on the internet. President Trump is the best president of my lifetime because he's also going up against very corrupt people. James Comey risks indictments in the future. Now, Andrew McCabe is going to flip and sing. He has to flip and sing because John Durham is not stupid. William Barr knows what he's doing. If McCabe doesn't get indicted, then I will change my tune. Okay, how's that? Because I know people like, you promised indictments each year, good man. Where are they? Don't you know that Democrats are omnipotent and they walk on water and nothing can ever happen to them? Haven't you resigned yourself to this fact? That Democrats are complete, rulers, masters of the universe? That they can't do anything. If they do something wrong, oh my God, they'll never get indicted. No, they lost the election, people. They lost the election. They're the ones who think they got the short end of the stick. They're like, well, at least the least we can do is fabricate and set up Trump and shove the country into a new Cold War. I mean, come on. At least we're owed that. So they're the ones who think that they have to scrounge and claw and, But the IG report's coming out. There was just a segment on Fox just recently. The IG report's coming out on the FISA violations. Carter Page was illegally and unlawfully spied on. The surveillance against Carter Page was they ripped apart the Constitution. Now, look, McCabe was sloppy. His wife received close to $1 million from Terry McAuliffe and Democratic Party PACs. He had conflicts of interest. He lied about those conflicts of interest under oath numerous times, and he's going to get indicted. Now, you have the number 2 at the FBI indicted. They're going to make him flip and sing. Notice how, they made Michael Cohen flip and sing, and Michael Cohen sung, but he made up things. Remember that wonderful recording of Trump? There was nothing there. Remember the Stormy D and the now Avenatti could possibly face decades in prison? Everybody who goes up against Trump, it doesn't work out for them. It's the Jesse Smollett effect. It doesn't work out for them. So just have a sober, rational, nuanced approach to all of this. Don't get too high. Don't get too emotionally involved. Don't get too low. When Andrew McCabe, you know what? You can get really happy when Andrew McCabe gets indicted because it's the number. He was the acting director. He was the number 2. He went after Michael Flynn. He went after Papadopoulos. He went after all of these people simply to undermine and frame and set up President Trump. But to strike a plea deal, John Durham, Jesus, oh my God almighty. To strike a plea deal, how do I explain this? They utilized the United States government. Read the article that I wrote in the Federalist. The 18 U.S. Code 371 is the statute that McCabe and Comey and everyone else, Strzok, can be indicted under. It's a simple, it's a slam dunk. It's easy. It's an easy way to simply just indict all of these people, but everything has to come out. The IG report has to come out. There have to be further interviews, interrogations, all of these things. It's going to run through the 2020 election. Clinton is going to run again. Andrew McCabe is going to get indicted. Okay? We're talking about now, it's not because I say so or whatever, or I predict it. Doesn't matter. This is a situation where you have a situation where this. Look, let me explain this. Let's start over again. They tried to set up and frame Trump. Okay? It didn't work. Now, Comey got a slap on the wrist. Okay, forget about it. It happens. The corruption is there. The new IG report's coming out that said, hey, he signed off on FISA warrants. Andrew McCabe signed off on FISA warrants. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page gave the quote-unquote evidence. Bruce Orr told everyone that to not use the Steele dossier. Isn't it interesting how Comey doesn't know who Glenn Simpson and Fusion GPS are? He also didn't know who Uma Abedin's husband was, which is absurd. The guy is so transparent. Even the left knows that he's lying and deceitful. Even the left knows that McCabe is lying and deceitful. They know that Trump was set up. They believe the hoax and the myth because they have to. To them, they were traumatized beyond belief that Clinton lost because the Russians hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated, thus giving them the popular vote, but at the same time cheating Clinton in swing states with Facebook ads that nobody saw. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel, by the way. I talk about how millennials are the greatest generation, and so check that out. But let's just hear. Matthew Whitaker cites subtle details. Andrew McCabe is imminently going to be indicted. Okay. This is hilarious Vanity Fair. Comey's memos reveal Trump's obsession with Andrew McCabe. This is how, like, millennials, young, the new generation of journalism, you're obsessed with Comey, huh? It's like, no, he was committed crimes. You're obsessed with Clinton, huh? No, she's running again. She committed crimes, too. But you hear, second IG report set to drop amid Comey. Okay, so remember you heard the LMNOP drops? Like, they add the word drop. It's like if you add the word phobia to anything, it's like you're a bad person. If you add the word drop, there's like an intrigue to it. Ooh, a drop? Okay, it should be dropping. But anyway, second IG report set to drop amid Comey blowback. Okay, so this is, ladies and gentlemen, a segment that talks about, look, he's not out of the woods yet. There's also a great article on Comey and future indictments. Comey, future indictments. Forgot which one the article is. Prosecuting. Okay, so James Comey. Okay, here, The Hill. James Comey next reckoning is imminent. This time for leaking. So here you have a situation. Oh no, James Comey next reckoning. This time for leaking. So the next reckoning. Wait, hold on. There was an article recently. He's not out of the woods yet, and he'll never be pertaining to 18 Code 371. They conspired to defraud the American people. It's pretty obvious. It's going to take a long time. It's going to go throughout the. This is going to last throughout the 2020 election. Clinton is going to run. Biden, okay, Warren has too many skeletons in her closet. Biden actually is a skeleton. That's all they have. Don't be silly with Bernie Sanders. Bernard Sanders, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a giant parade giving Clinton all the dollar bills, all the money, all the $100 campaign donations, a total of what? 20, 30 million, $40 million. A big procession of people, and we're going to hand each denomination of bill to Clinton and kiss her feet at the same time, and it'll be a band there, marching band. It'll be fantastic. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful show of support against the 1%. And then when it's all done, she can kick me in the face, and it'll be the rightful ending to my second presidential campaign. So he's gonna kiss the ring again. The guy was cheated. He could have won. It could have been a contender. He was cheated, and he gave $200 million to the DNC under the pretext of a fair and neutral primary. And then the Russians apparently informed the country that he was cheated. Okay, it's like unbelievable. Now there's no chance he's going to win the nomination because Clinton's running again. Warren is a copy of Bernie, except she failed her DNA test, and she's got other issues pertaining to the failed DNA test. Okay, she was the first woman of color apparently, back in the day. It was just hilarious. So, there's a lot of things going on. Okay, there's a lot of things going on. How do I explain this? All of this will be for Clinton 2020. Okay? And when it all goes down, people will realize, this was the Matrix. This was what, the computer program talked about. And that's it. Everything, the second Clinton lost, it was Clinton 2020. It wasn't Beto 2020. It wasn't Biden, Botox cadaver 2020. There's a reason that the Democratic field is horrendous, okay? A, because they have nobody. They're all horrendous. And B, because it's all a charade and a farce and a scam. Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan, all of them, they worked for one purpose. The purpose was to ensure President Trump couldn't govern without a fabricated hoax, but also to make everything morally relative. Now they use the word corrupt as if they don't care about 85 donors giving $156 million to the Clinton Foundation and meeting Clinton. Cash flowed to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. The verbatim New York Times article headline, they don't care. They don't have any value system. They're just going to try to attain power by any cost, any means possible. They're defending Comey. Well, you know what? It was he was using a fire extinguisher and there was a fire. What do you want from him? It's like, no, he created the whole drama. He used a dossier, tried to intimidate Trump with a dossier he knew was nonsense. This person, okay, Comey's an intelligent guy. He's not like an inept fool who is completely ignorant and like lacks any, intelligence. He knows what he was doing, and everyone else does. But the media is always going to fall back on, well, it was a chaotic time, da-da-da-da. When McCabe gets indicted, then the spotlight goes on Comey and Strzok and everyone else. Clinton eventually runs. We have 2020 making 2016 look like the teacup ride at Disneyland. It's all good. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Onward to 2020. Thank you.